Hey, have you ever been in Tooki trouble? I haven't either. I don't know what that means, but Stitchy is in Tooki trouble, that's for sure. Stitchy is a scarecrow who, unfortunately, has had all of his corn stolen, as you can see here on the title screen, by weird little tiki guys, which I assume are called Tookis. They just show up, unbeknownst to anybody, take all his corn and leave. Like, kind of evil, really, you think about it. Like, you don't even see a cutscene about them plotting to take corn, or why do they want corn so bad? They live in, like, a tropical area. Like, do they really need corn? I mean, really, it's bad for your diet anyway. You can't even digest the stuff. Anyway, I digress. Stitchy in Tooki Trouble is a 2D platformer, or 2.5D, depending on how you slice it or want to look at it. It's a, 3D character model on a 2D plane. But it's actually a very cute and fun little platformer. It is $12.99 on the Switch. It's interesting because this game seems to have come out earlier this year in April, but I was actually just made aware of it recently and offered a review code for it. And I said, yeah, it's a 3D platformer. I definitely want to check it out. I love these games, right? So, in this game, you play as Stitchy trying to get his corn back, okay? It's how Stitchy got his corn back, I guess, here. So let's play through a level here just to show you guys an example. Let's see. We'll just go with World 1, Level 3 here. So this is the very beginning of the game, just to give you an idea how this all works. I can tell you about some of the pros and cons of the game. One con I can tell you right off the bat here is I have not finished the game. I finished World 1. But as you can see, it already said that I was about 31% through the game. And what that means is that this game is actually pretty short. So for what I could tell, there are 3 worlds altogether, and if the first world is any indication, it's probably going to take you like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to get through the whole game. So, hey, take that as you will. Maybe this game will be a little bit more challenging for you than it was for me, at least through World 1 so far. There we go, there's some enemies here. By the way, you got these cool fish enemies. I really like these guys. I like that everything has like a very, tropic-inspired look to it. You got these tiki dudes walking around, dancing. You gotta take them out. Like so. You just jump on them, that's it. This is a one-button platforming game where you can double jump, and that's all you can do. Actually, I take that back. You can double jump, and you can do the butt slam type of thing here. Jump through. But yeah, the game is short, so please keep that in mind here. It's only $12.99. It's a game you could tell has gotten, someone definitely put a lot of time, effort, and love into this game here. So I feel like $12.99 might be a pretty reasonable price tag for a shorter game because it does have some replay value, which we'll get into in just a second here. So one of the things I did want to bring up, which is kind of strange, most games have a butt stomp, right? Like most platforming games, you have a character who could do this kind of thing and break boxes. One of the things I think, if they ever do a sequel to this, or if they do an update or whatever, this is something I feel like might need to change, is breaking these crates. If you do it, like you have 2 in a row, you think you go through both of them at once. What ends up happening, you go through one. And that really threw me off because I'm so used to like, even like breaking barrels in RPGs and stuff, if you swing and you hit 3 barrels, you're gonna, destroy all 3. This one, it's kind of like, nah, you just get the one. So I mean, you could even stand in the middle of these. Yeah, it's just weird. It just kind of threw me off. It's not even really that big of a deal, but it's just like very strange. I'm not sure why that decision was made. One of the other things too I want to point out too is that the perspective of the game is very strange. It kind of reminds me of old, like, I don't know, like throwback Sega Saturn platformers where there was like a lot of ground and a lot of, we'll just say ceiling for lack of a better word here. But, the character is like almost smack dab in the middle of the screen, which is strange because most platformers, they give you more height above the character, so you can kind of see where you're going here, It almost kind of gives the game this like sort of claustrophobic feel. I feel like the screen is almost too tight in on the character. It has, again, it's one of those things in this game where it kind of works for the game. It's not a big problem, but it just kind of gives it this like real weird look. Anything from like Mario to like, even like, Crash Bandicoot games where, you know, he's running 2D, which you can tell this game has a little bit of that inspiration from it there. It's just interesting to kind of see that. And in some areas, kind of like this area, it doesn't bother you as much because there isn't so much ground. Like, you're jumping from platform to platform in the water. Not a big deal. But as soon as you get back to ground, it is just very strange. Now, the game itself, though, it is a fun little game. If you guys like 3D platformers, or I should say 2D platformers with like a 3D look, and you like them cute, you miss like the days, you know, the GameCube era of like cute 3D platformers, I think you're gonna really, really enjoy this. By the way, you can collect those little tiki faces through each level, and those add a little bit of replay value through the game. What they're going to do, because I actually have a couple more I have to collect to do it, is they're going to unlock other levels that you can play through, which I'll show you in just a second here once we finish this level. Ah! We get hit by the Barracuda dude. So this is the part where I think the barrel breaking, or, you know, the box breaking thing is kind of strange, because here I just want to, like, smash through all of them at once, but I can't. You gotta do them all one at a time. It's very, very strange. By the way, this has the Mario coin approach, which is if you collect 100 corn ears, or 100 ears of corn, you do get a free guy. I have died maybe once? I don't think even at all. I don't think I actually died when I thought I was going to. Anyway, at the end of every level, you get to break this crate here. And then you get all the corn, and it's kind of nice. It's satisfying, we'll say. Click continue there, and boom, there you go. That is a level of Stitchy in Tooki Trouble. Now you'll see right here in the top left, you'll see a little, tiki head there with a 2. It means like we're missing 2, because you can see in the top left it says World 1. We got 25 out of 27. And every level also has a timer. It'll give you stars based on how quickly you finish the level. So you can go back to a level, finish it quicker, earn more stars, but I'm not sure what the stars do just yet. I know from, obviously, if you collect enough of the tiki heads, you're going to unlock, secret levels, which is always a good thing. It's good replay value. I'm glad that they added something like that in there. However, the stars, I don't know what they do. I don't know what it offers when you get all the stars. So that I cannot speak to. But what we are going to do is I have not played through any levels in the next world. Oh, I should mention this too. In World 1, once you get to level 10, there is a boss battle. There is a great Octopus boss battle. You can actually see the octopus there in the top middle there. You fight him in the very last level of the world. And it's actually a pretty fun boss fight. The game kind of has an air of like my first platformer. This is a really good starter platformer for kids if they haven't played one before, or maybe they want something that's a little bit more easy. This game has not been super challenging, to be quite honest. Like I said, I don't think that I've died, and if I did die, it was probably an accident or even on purpose because I was testing something. I don't even remember at this point. But it has not been challenging in the slightest, so keep that in mind. But the boss battle was really fun. I was impressed by it. It wasn't hard, but it was a 3-phase boss battle with the octopus tentacles coming after you, and it was actually really, really well done. For a game of this caliber, which is, around a $10 budget titles type of game, All right, let's jump into the first level of World 2. I have not played this. This is all fresh, all new. We'll see what kind of new things we run into. There is one other level I would like to show off here before we're done. That does show off like some of the why I like this game, actually, because it does come off as simple, but the developers have definitely created some cool, unique approaches in some of their levels. For those of you who are fans of Mario, you know how... Oh, that's a new enemy. Big old robot dude. Okay, he's hitting... Okay, we just gotta keep... No, we can't hurt him. I was like, we just keep bouncing on him, but we can't hurt him. For those of you who are fans of Mario, you know how in Mario levels, in certain 2D games, they'll use a mechanic in, like, one level in the whole game, right? And that's it. They'll, like, basically just throw it away. Like, they're like, okay, we did it once, we're good. And this game definitely added that in here. Has a thing just like that, which we'll get into in just a second here. By the way, the secrets in this are also very easy to find. I am not known as a guy for finding secrets in games, that's for sure. But you can see, like, they have the, breakable wood or platforms there, and they're always in the same spot every single time. So they're not hard to find. This is why I said there's aspects of this that make this kind of like, you know, my first platformer, like I was saying. Oh no, I'm gonna miss that tiki head. I'm gonna have to come back for that one another time. Didn't realize it was up there. They have put tiki heads in certain areas that were like kind of annoying to get to. And by that I mean like, there was one where I had to smash through a crate, and they decided to put it on the side of an area where I couldn't get back up and try to get it again. Like basically you'd have to restart the level or die to get to it, which I thought was kind of lame in a way. But hey, that's how platformers work every now and then. I remember Donkey Kong Country. You know, you get into those like little mini game things, and you had your one chance to get that coin or whatever it was you were collecting. And if you didn't get it, you were SOL and you were starting the level over. Here we go. We're at the end. All right, so that is the first level of World 2, that is. So there you go. Not bad. Not a bad little game. And every level will take you about that long to play through. So, I'm going to show you guys one more thing, because I think, excuse me, I think most of you kind of get the idea here. You can see that World 3 is here. It's not unlocked yet, not until we finish World 2, but we're going to go back to World 1. There's one level, I got to remember which one it is, because I want to really show that one off, because I thought it was like such a great little level to show off the mechanics. I think it might be this one. It's the mechanics of the squid tentacles here. They do a really, really good job with it. And it's not anything we haven't seen before in other games. It's not something like brand new or anything like that. But I just really like that they included it, because it's the only level in the game that had it. And I was like, wow, they really went out of their way to program this thing for one level. And that is, to me, that's worth merits for sure. So you can see this one, the tentacles break through the wall, and they'll fill up these areas with water. Okay, so you might be sitting there thinking like, oh yeah, you know, I've seen that before. I think most of us have seen stuff like that before, especially if we played Mario games and any other platformers under the sun. But look, then they start adding it in where you gotta outrun the water as it's rising. Which I thought was just a great touch, to be quite honest. It gets even better here as we go. Alright, so you go up here, and then he has this like cool part here where you're just outrunning the water. Like I said, only level that does this. I thought that this was like the most action-packed, cool level in the game so far, besides the boss battle. And I was just kind of like, all right, I appreciate that. What, you know, that is worth mentioning and showing off, I think. Very, very cool. Now, the interesting thing I'll be looking for is whether they're going to release another Stitchy game in the future, because as far as I can tell, this is the only game that Stitchy's in. Oh man, that water's catching up, isn't it? Oh no! Whew, I almost ate it there. Did you see that? But luckily, we made it to the end. But yeah, I don't know. Is this Stitchy's only game? It's kind of interesting that they have Stitchy and Tooki Trouble, but has he been in anything else? You know? Like, it's interesting that Stitchy hasn't had like a first game where he was kind of like in a world of his own theme, you know, like he's like, you know, I don't know, someone like a crow, like his crow flew away or something, and he chased his crow through the forest to get him back. So you have a forest level, and then, you know, you have, yeah, I don't know, something like that. It's really interesting to me though that with the first game they decided to go with like Scarecrow, autumn, you know, fall type theme meets Tiki theme. And it's such a strange theme mash that I just had to bring it up, because like I've never seen that before. I don't dislike it. It's just weird. It's like I would have never thought to put those together, you know? So it's pretty interesting. And then of course, like, you know, you have oops, didn't mean to hit play on that. But you have the old tropes like them adding in a winter world, because we see that in just about every platformer ever, right? Every platformer has an ice world. Every platformer has their, you know, fire world. Everyone has their water world. It's always there. It's always the same stuff, right? And this is no different. You started off with your grassy world, you go into your winter world, then you're going to eventually go into a factory world. But all the while, you're fighting tikis in these different worlds. What are the tikis doing in the winter world? I don't know. It's it's strange, but it is happening. But there you go, guys. That is Stitchy and Tooki Trouble. I think it's actually a pretty fun, easy little platformer. It's $12.99 on Switch. It's available now, I guess, since April, it seems. It's been out for a while. But I'm glad I got to check this one out because it's actually pretty fun. But guys, hey, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.